2, 1.
Welcome to Antimatters.
Hello everyone! Today we've got an update on 4 of my species. We've got the Polyrachus Armata, the Polyrachus Rastellata, the Manica Rubida, and the Campos arrogans, which are all doing really well in my opinion. So first up, the Polyrachus Armata. These rather big girls have been absolutely popping off. I got them 3 weeks ago and there was 1 queen and 1 worker. 1 week later, they had 2 workers, and 2 weeks later after that, they now have 4 workers, which I'm really excited about. It's quite phenomenal their growth rate considering they are big girls, and it's completely blown me away. I'd highly recommend getting yourself some Polyrachus Armata to be honest, because they rate about 9 out of 10 on the beard and spike scale, in my opinion, but they just seem so hardy and they grow so fast. I'm quite looking forward to the next month because I really do think they could start pushing the big numbers. I'm hoping they'll definitely be in the double digits by then. I've been keeping them in a test tube pod from Wakushi inside of their test tube that they came in, and they've been doing absolutely brilliantly and keeping them at 27 Celsius. You may notice they've silked up the test tube a little bit more than they had before, so it's really hard to actually get a look inside now, but as far as I can tell, everything is doing really well. I've decided to give them a little treat and I got them a small Venus from Wakushi. I'm really hoping that this gives them a little bit more extra space but keeps them comfortable and they can really boom. Let's move on to my Campos arrogans that I received from Antantics as a special gift to the channel. So I have a Campos curse 100%, and all my other Campos species that I've ever kept, it hasn't ended well. But these girls, well, something's different about these. For one, I've had them, 3 weeks now, and a single worker hasn't died, which, that's never happened before. Normally I get them 1 week later, 5 of the workers are dead or half the colony is dead, and another few weeks later, they're all gone. But these girls are absolutely brilliant. And even better than none of them dying, I looked in yesterday afternoon, being about Wednesday the 15th I think it is, and there was a new little worker coming out. I was absolutely over the moon to see the callow little worker because, well, I still don't believe that I can raise Campos, but it's going really well. I'm really enjoying keeping them now. The queen is just so beefy. As a thank you, and just to kind of give them a present, I decided to upgrade their nest. So, they're now living inside of a mercury nest. From Wakushi, of course. Use code ANTIMATTERS at checkout for 10% off. I hope they like it, and to make them feel at home, I put a little bit of sugar water and a couple flies into the outworld. So far, it's been about 20 hours, and they haven't actually left the tube. They seem incredibly shy at the minute, however I do believe that will change once the colony gets a few more workers. If they do, touch wood, fingers crossed. I'm extremely happy with their progress though. So, time for the Polyrachus Rastellata. When I first got these little girls, they were very numerous. There was at least 20 little ants running around in the test tube, and since then, they've gone from strength to strength. There now must be at least 35 little workers. They've also decided to inhabit 2 tubes now. I'm not sure if it was because one was too cramped, or they like the gradients in heat or humidity that the different tubes offer, but they're now spread across 2. Every single day, I swear they have new pupae as well. They just seem to pop out of nowhere because I barely see any larvae. However, there might be loads of larvae in there to be honest, and I have noticed that the tube is getting very silky to be fair, as they weave it up, which means there must be a few larvae at least, because that's where the silk comes from. The Saturn they're in seems to suit them really, really well. I do think they actually love it to be fair. It definitely doesn't seem to be doing them any harm in the growth department. I know some people struggle to film in a Saturn as well. However, it doesn't really matter with these girls because they weave up their tubes so much that you can't see in anyway. To sum it up though, the Rastellata are doing absolutely brilliantly. Time for my favourite colony though. Manica McLeod and her crew of little workers. It still surprises me that Manica McLeod is still going strong, and things have just gone from strength to strength recently. Over winter, they forced themselves into hibernation and there was only a few bits of brood. But now the brood has exploded. There must be at least 50 little larvae in their tube and they've stacked them up high. The queen seems just as vigorous as she's always been as well, which fills me with hope. I've been chucking in loads of food in hopes that all of these larvae develop into pupae in no time at all, because if they do, I think the colony could get to 100 within 2 months, I'd say, which that would just be a dream come true, to be honest. All of that experimenting in the Manica Rubida experiment, it'll all be worth it if they make it. I'm quite looking forward to giving the Manica Rubida challenge another go as well this year. I know this colony is thriving, but it could just be a coincidence. They're an absolute dream to keep though, and they're always so busy in the outworld running around. They're absolutely hilarious if you give them like dead flies and stuff as well, because, well, you can't give them living ones because it turns out they're the most useless hunters I've ever seen. And even if you give them a dead one, it's quite funny watching them kind of pander around with this fly. So I think that about wraps up today's update. I mostly made this video just for a record of how they're getting along, but I do hope you enjoyed watching it, and thank you if you have. So until next time, may your ants live long and prosper. Thanks again for watching, have a fabulous week, and bye!